Welcome to our channel. South Dakota State football dominates Montana to advance to FCS quarterfinals. South Dakota State football defeated Montana on Saturday, 35-18, in a complete performance to advance to the FCS quarterfinals. This was the first time in program history that SDSU has defeated the Grizz in Brookings. The Jackrabbits were 1-8 all-time against Montana heading into this matchup. South Dakota State's lone win in the all-time series was in last year's FCS National Championship game, which SDSU won 23-3. SDSU's defense completely suffocated the Montana offense. The Jackrabbits only scored a field goal until the fourth quarter, and the Grizz rarely got in dangerous positions. Offensively, quarterback Mark Gronowski and wide receiver Griffin Wilde were unstoppable in the passing game. Gronowski completed 12 of his 16 passes for 151 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also tallied 2 rushing touchdowns. Wilde ended the game with 114 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns on a team-high 7 receptions. He also surpassed the 1,000 receiving yard mark for the season as well. Here are a few takeaways from SDSU's win over Montana. South Dakota State was on the Montana 22-yard line on 2nd and 2, trailing by 3 points. Gronowski looked around and noticed Amar Johnson wasn't in the huddle, but 3 tight ends were. He knew what that meant. On the following play, Gronowski threw a backwards pass to Kevin Bremer, who waited until the defense shifted towards him, and then threw it back to Gronowski. Gronowski caught it at the 27 and ran it all the way to the goal line. When asked what he thought when he saw the offense run the trick play, Rogers said he definitely thought it was a touchdown and then laughed, saying he wished Bremer threw the ball better. "Honestly, I was like, that was the worst throw," Rogers said. Although it wasn't ruled a touchdown, Gronowski ran the ball into the end zone on the very next play to put South Dakota State ahead 7-3. Montana football coach Bobby Hauck pinpointed that play as one of the biggest ones of the game that went against them. The SDSU defense was at its best Saturday, opening the door for the Jackrabbits to take control in the first half. The defense held Montana to only 46 rushing yards in the first 2 frames and 75 in the entire game. South Dakota State outgained Montana in total yardage, 264-122, in the first half and led 21-3 heading into the break. Aside from Montana's first half field goal, the Grizz were rarely in position to score until later in the game, when it felt like the game had already been decided. The Grizz looked a bit stronger in the second half, adding a couple touchdowns late, including one in the final minute of the fourth quarter. Tucker Large and Adam Bach each recorded interceptions. Bach scored his second career pick-six, returning an interception 40 yards for a touchdown. "I got a nice assist from Matt Durrance and it kind of ended up right in my lap," Bach said of the play. "Then my running back instincts kicked in." The defense totaled 6 tackles for a loss while Bryce Hawthorne led the squad in TFL with 2.5. They played well all year. "I think they're giving up 12-something points a game, right? Terrible compared to last year, when they gave up 9-something, Montana football coach Bobby Hauck said of the South Dakota State defense. "No, they're very good on defense. I enjoy the tenacity their kids play with. I kind of admire it." On the other hand, it seemed like everything was working for SDSU. The run game was strong. The Jackrabbits ended the game with 223 rushing yards as Amar Johnson led the way with 103 yards on 16 carries. But South Dakota State was at their best when Gronowski was looking for Wilde. The duo combined for a pair of 15-plus yard touchdown plays in the second quarter. The second was a 34-yard pass. Wilde was particularly impressive, amassing 110 receiving yards in the first half alone. "I'll take Griffin one-on-one against anybody in the country," Gronowski said post-game. "He got his opportunity and made